Top of the morning. This morning's been an early morning. I was on Smitty Brim's Mike Smitty Blow Dollars Network earlier with Moshe and a couple of good brothers. And we just vibing, having a great conversation. And we speaking about some things about this media thing. I'm not a scientist to this stuff. I'm not a I don't work for ABC. I just realized that we have to separate the streets from this media stuff when it comes to certain levels of this game. Um, we have we have to not personalize certain interviews. What I mean by that is that's like 105.1 not interviewing 50 Cent because they don't like something 50 Cent may have said about Fort Master Flex. You know what I'm saying? Or DJ Clue, whatever the case may be. But like I told you, we ain't go to school for this, so it's a learning process. Our job as we do this every day and we get greater at what we're doing, we'll be able to have people on our platforms that may have disagreements with other platforms and build a dialogue, a conversation, without speaking about other platforms that because this YouTube thing has become the new battle rap. Battle rap has become the YouTube channels going back and forth with each other. And who's dealing with the facts and who don't got the facts. And a lot of times, man, we'll waste so many countless hours trying to deal with trying to get the facts that we'll actually block our blessings. We'll waste too much energy. You move on. It's a new story every day. Something new happens. Somebody had me up the other day. The reason I'm touching on this for because as many views as the dirty section that some people say gets, we have a guy that's not that we keep saying it's not from our culture. He's like #1 in Spotify, academics. You know what I'm saying? But he's pushing the agenda. He's promoting the agenda. He may not realize it, but when he promotes these young rap artists, he's promoting not just the violence, but the lifestyle. Their lifestyle is throwing money in the air and doing a lot of hard drugs. So, with that being said, this is what sells to the media. It's not about us. It's not about us not communicating with the young cats because we're gonna tell them don't do drugs. You got these media outlets that's pushing that. So now the social media world has become the big homies, have become their teachers. So let's keep that in mind. When we go back and forth with each other all day, there's other people that's not from our culture that's destroying our kids and they're getting a check off this. Because everything we say is dumb, that's corny, that's whack. They're saying is, nah, this is right. And I can get you to the bag. And they're watching them create artists that's living that lifestyle. Now, do we think Lil Durk is going to get a Fed charge? What do y'all think? You know what I'm saying? Is he involved with the streets or he ain't involved with the streets? Only time will tell. Time will tell. Is Little Baby going to get caught up in an ATL situation? We don't know. Only you guys that's in Atlanta know, that's down there, that's down south, that know what these young boys been doing. But we definitely know since 2012, it's been you know what I'm saying? It's been a lot of promoting drug addiction, hard drugs. No matter how much we say, you look crazy sipping lean and popping Molly, we got guys that's putting guys on platforms that got money that act like it's a lifestyle. They're creating that to become a lifestyle. The media is doing this. The media is creating, doing hard drugs as a lifestyle. So y'all just keep that part in mind, you know what I'm saying? Now, doing my due diligence. Shout out to Mitty. And the reason why I did this for, because I'm noticing that, we locked in. Shout out to Mikey B and Moshe. They did a thing on credibility, China Brim, 05 China Brim movement did something on credibility. Roski did something on credibility. Harlem Legend did something on credibility. Hassan Campbell on credibility. Smitty Brim on credibility. And it's just a great conversation. everybody's not going to see everything the same. That's the thing that bugs me out. Why I have to agree, why I have to have a conversation with you and try to convince you what I'm saying is right. I can't be right all the time. You know, there's things I put out in the media that I didn't get a check for because I wasn't smart about it. Let's imagine I would have watermarked that video when Al Poe was talking outside the funeral. One of the first videos that was out there of Al Poe surrounded around a crowd of people at Rest in Peace Dirtbag James' funeral. Imagine I would have watermarked that. I just put the content out there. Now you see, that picture alone got over 4 or 5 million views. It went viral. Once Vlad touched it, he threw it out there. So you understand what I'm saying? Moving too fast and yo, think you know what you're doing. I'm real. It took away from. Imagine I would have watermarked that. That would have took my brand someplace else, right? You know what I'm saying? One of the first times on the west side of Harlem, Al Poe outside around a circle, a crowd of people. That came from me. My man was at the wake, took the picture, sent it to me. Yo, Joey was Papino. He was actually talking to him. We had Joey and the crew. You know what I'm saying? So we have to understand that we have to really watch when it comes to this professionalism. We're taking it away from our profession. Shout out to East Harlem, shout out to everybody at Isaac Projects. Yo, Joey was popping, Pleasant Ave, you know what I'm saying? We have a chance to really create something that's great for my people. See, if I sat here right now and told you Redhead Joey, and a couple of good Italians from Pleasant Avenue was riding bikes with some of your famous bosses that you heard about in these magazines, you wouldn't believe it. Because you're listening to these narratives where people say, oh, blacks and whites, they don't get along, and they kill each other, and it's a race war, and it's racism. But you wouldn't believe that these guys rode bikes together. They fixed bikes together. They linked up on a Friday night, and they was going down First Ave, going to Ward's Island. You wouldn't know that. Y'all. So we're allowing people to speak for our culture. It's not from our culture. You know, when we speak, it's like, oh yeah, he's freestyling. But we was outside. You know what I'm saying? We seen what who's who. Our generation, at least, I can't speak about people that's 10 years older than me. I can only speak about my generation. I'm 48 years old. Now, touching on the content, there's a lot of stories about Jimmy Henchman's beef with the G Unit. Salute to crowncourttv. I got the audio from the trial. This is the trial, the actual trial of Jimmy Henchman. It's weird because you know what I'm saying? We do react too fast. You're right. We do react, Rick. We do react too fast. We react, and then when we react, it's like we have to take the time out. Every call out does not need to be responded to. Doesn't make you soft for not responding to a call out. If that was that case, everybody be dead. All call outs really don't have to be that type. It don't have to. Why was somebody doing this whack? Is it being okay? Why I think I gotta be corny? If that's how you look at it, and that's entertainment or that's real, those are your facts. You know what I'm saying? You know, we burn bridges being real ones. This is the media. This is actually entertainment. People like Star Report's been a shock jock since as long as we knew. For y'all those who do not know what a shock jock is, Google that. That's what Star is. This is how he gets it. That's how he always got his money. So there's other people that do it, and then they're corny and when there's people that do it, that's been doing it, that go through the same situation. How many times you think, when you speak about Bullets Gotti getting pressed and stepped through and all this other craziness, How many times do you think Star got stepped to when he worked for Hot 97 or 105.1 or whatever radio station when he was exposing people? How many times do you think Wendy Williams got slapped or made up on because she was exposing people when she was on Kiss FM, the Kiss FM days, to Hot 97 days? People do things because of algorithm. Nobody's going to disrespect you. They're not going to get a check for it. So a lot of this is algorithm. If I could make videos about you all day and I can get a monthly check, then I'm going to do it. You know what I'm saying? If this is what's going to give me a check until something changes. So you got to understand, when you play with this media, this is what comes with this media. People don't do it to clout chase. So I say clout chase. It's not a clout. It's getting a check. If you're a monetized channel and I'm getting 1 million views for calling you corny, I'm gonna make videos calling you corny. That's how this goes. We see our numbers. Let me show you something. They tell you your numbers. Let me show you something, party people. Before I get into the actual content, they show you what videos are winning. What video on Zeke Black Feed the Wolves. Or Hakeem, hit my man Hakeem Poodle brother up. That send it to him, but he can send it to me. Because I don't know how. That's you got Hakeem joint. Just send your number to Hakeem and send it to me. If you can't get to Zeke Black Feed the Wolves on IG, my man Ha. Definitely. Let me get this. Let me show you, man. It shows you your numbers on here. Look, it shows you. It shows you what's winning. Let me show. I'm showing you right now. Content. It shows you where everybody. Definitely. Right here, it shows you. I'm actually showing you people. They show you what videos are winning. Your top videos. Y'all see it. Y'all looking at this. So now I'm seeing I got 5 or 6,000 views on one video. On this subject, why I get off of it for? Because if it's monetized, right? I'm gonna show you something. Because if it's monetized, where is that? So I'm teaching you guys something. Other than those shorts, it shows you. You see how that works? You know what I'm saying? So this is what people follow. They're gonna follow what's hot. Shock jocks, they speak about things, but they don't need facts because they're telling you about from what they think, their opinion. You don't need facts for that. This is how I feel it, and if I'm wrong, you're on my bad. That's just how that game goes. Now, so, it's sort of like the media. Some people are learning the media because some people pay attention to other people. Understand, you're going to get a crowd. Sometimes you're going to be hot, sometimes you're not. You're going to have viral moments, and sometimes you're not going to have viral moments. That's just how this game goes. So you got to prepare yourself emotionally for that. You might be hot. So when you're hot, you do other things. Now, going back to Jimmy, good old Jimmy. The G-Unit beef with Jimmy Henchmen is very weird because we all have our speculations. We all believe that the beef was over the 50 Cent in the game or 50 Cent with the real 50 Cent documentary. It's the stories that we've heard. I haven't listened to this, but these are the stories that we've heard that led to situations. Now, one thing I ain't going to say, 50 Cent name, out of all this, his name in this, 50 Cent had, you know what I'm saying, definitely feed the wolves. Feeding y'all some knowledge is going to understand it. You know, not God body, you know what I'm saying? But 50 Cent, yes. RD got it. Y'all be checking out RD's on P57 Facts. So I'm just putting you on. Sometimes like Alpo is a hot topic, right? Not changing the subject, but Alpo's your friend. So you can speak about things on Alpo that nobody else knows about. Because you grew up with them on First Ave. Remember, you was in Wilson, East River. You was all through First. to 1/16, 1/14 in the era. You could just speak about that when y'all was riding around with like Italian Vinny and all that. Those stories alone I have dudes bugging out like, yo, but Upper East Side and the connection with the East Side, Isaac Projects, Wagner Junior High School, John J. Poole, DE3, that's my guy, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, see, I be checking out all these joints. Double shout to the 357 crew, you know what I'm saying? My man Side from on your sides. My man Side G&R, Sace G&R, Spawn, you know what I'm saying? So we all grew up together. We hit the same sanitation trucks, you know what I'm saying? Right there on 100th Street. What's that? By Metropolitan, 99th Street, whatever this block that is. We all did that before back in the day. See, so there's a whole bunch of stories you can speak on. You was there. You was actually there. TWB, Shop, Jeep, Fury, Sunny One, Is a Rock, Scar, JG, the Washington boys, facts. You was there. When dudes was riding BMX bikes, when the D was dangerous in Washington, JJ and Poodle and all of them, you was there for that. So your story's bigger than Outpost. You just happen to grow up with Red E.T. Mall, Sep E.T. Mall, rest in peace Veen E.T. Mall, TWB. Yeah, I used to write graffiti too, you know what I'm saying? you know what I mean? Now he's from where I'm from. East Harlem, Upper East Side, East Harlem. Your man Lee Ski and all that, Mike Sustack and all that. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. You all, you know what I'm saying? So there's so much you can speak about because because you was around that cloth. No, you was around when dudes was riding BMX bikes. When y'all was riding the Wards Island riding BMX bikes, to when y'all started riding dirt bikes to Wards Island, the Andrews Island. You know what I'm saying? So that's just, you know what I mean? A lot of people don't know that. Troy Reed did that in the book, like, yo, he's from the East Side. But you know, it's a bigger story. I can't tell you, man. I think we target each other flaws. That's why I think that you two Crips, because we target each other flaws. That's why there's so much drama. If I come on the platform and I say something about life, somebody will go, no, Zeke is fronting because he has a flaw somewhere. This is not the block. This ain't the place to be real. Real niggas is entertaining. Yeah. We can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Nah. This, no free sub. You know what I'm saying? My man Freeze. The whole EA problem. You know what I'm saying? So that's where a lot of the situations happen. Dudes look, they when you have I told you the content thing. Some people, they get money off of bashing other people. There shouldn't be no, I think everybody has a story. Everybody has a story. Everybody has a story. You feel what I'm saying? It's just who tells the story. Look, a man from my neighborhood that I don't know. That I don't get caught because now, you know what I'm saying? Definitely. That's crazy, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy. And it's just dudes, it's just bad situations, you know what I'm saying? And I'm saying, just growing up on the East Side, man, it's a lot of history, man. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely a lot of history. A lot of us grew up together. A lot of history. And our appropriated algorithm people can talk about. I always look at Hassan Campbell. The rest of them, I don't know them. But Hassan Campbell has blessed my platform many times. I know that he's a shock. So I understand that. I know what to expect from Hassan. Hassan's gonna come on the platform. He's gonna say his speech. Sometimes he might give you some content that he would have put on his platform, on your platform. That's just what he does. You know what I'm saying? That's just what Hassan does. He's done it for me many times. You check out our content, Hassan Campbell pulling up, and that's what he does. He's a shock jock. He speaks his mind. He's like a Charleston White. These are guys that's going to tell you things that you don't want to hear, the truth sometimes. Or just how do you feel or how do you look at something. You can't go to war with the shock jocks. How many people are going to war with Star? You know, he's a shock jock. But since he went for Hot 97, he gets these credentials. And you got other guys that follow this path. You know what I'm saying? It's just that, you know, everybody has the way that they really take care of their business. So getting back to the, so I want to show this. I'm gonna play this audio, and you're gonna hear it goes from crowncourttv. Tev Stewart testifies about what really started the G Unit. What really started the G Unit versus Jimmy Henchmen. This is what this man says on the stand. Some guy named Tev Stewart. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Later, peace. That's I'm gonna tell you. Y'all, you guys tell me what you guys think. This is Jimmy Henchmen versus this is what he says sparked the beat. We know that he had issues in the past. 50 Cent didn't tell, so this is not audio being put out saying 50 Cent's a rat. That's not what I'm doing. This is the audio of the situation that he says started the beat between G Unit versus Jimmy Henchmen. Enjoy. Courtesy of Crown Court TV and their narrators.
So what was your understanding in the early years? Now let's talk 02, 03. What was your understanding of what Jimmy's job was at Henchmen? He was the owner of the company, and I guess to find and break artists, produce records. What did you observe him doing in that capacity? Having meetings, scouting talent. Did you participate in any of those meetings? Sometimes. What artists did you observe him working with? Period or early on that time? Let's first talk early. Back then I used to see him a lot with Wyclef. Not many back then, just his own independent artists he was trying to break. Charissa later on in the future, stuff like that. Now, did you continue spending time around Jimmy and his music management company? Yes. Until what year? Till about 09. What were some of the other artists you saw Jimmy working with? Mario Winans, Brandy, The Game, Smitty, Charissa, many different artists. And did you come to have some role in Jimmy's company? Somewhat. What was your role? We were pretty much just friends, but there was a couple times he would send me artists that he wanted me to help him out with to somewhat do day-to-day management with. What artists did you work with? Foxy Brown. A couple times I ran around with Game, helped him out. I'm going to show you what's been marked for identification as Government Exhibit 1004 and ask if you recognize it. Actually, I'll show you 1004 and 1005. Take a look at those and tell me if you recognize them. Yes. What are those? Pictures of me and people affiliated with SAR. And are those pictures fair and accurate representations of those incidents? Yes. Times? Are you in those photos? Yes. Do you know when they were taken? Early 2000s, mid 2000s probably. You recognize all the people in those photos? Yes. The government offers exhibits 1004 and 1005. No objection. No objection. Admitted. Can we publish 1004, please? Can we publish 1005? Does that come up? We'll do it the old-fashioned way. Who are we looking at here, Mr. Stewart? To the left is Jimmy. Next to him in the red sweater is Tony Martin. Next to him, female, is Taja and me. And where was this picture taken? It was at a birthday party, I think, for Steve Rifkind, if I remember correctly. Who is Steve Rifkind? He's the CEO of music, CEO for one of the labels. Who is Tony Martin? Tony Martin is the guy that managed Game. He worked for Czar, did the road management for Game. Who is Taja? Taja was Jimmy's assistant. Can we put up 1005? What does this show? Shows me and Sincere. Who's Sincere? Sincere is the guy that used to work for Jimmy. He did the street marketing and all that stuff. And where was that taken? At the same party. I'm going to now bring up what has been marked for identification as government exhibits 1030, 1035, and 1040. Take a look at those one at a time. Tell me if you recognize them. Yes. What are they? What's the general category of what they are? Zara Entertainment t-shirts and my coat. Are they yours or someone else's? My Zara Entertainment t-shirts and my coat. The government offers government exhibits 1030, 1035, and 1040. May I just speak to the assistant for a second, Judge? Sure. No objection. No objection. Admitted. Mr. Stewart, can you just hold each of these up for the jury for them to see? I might hold this one up. It's a little hard to see. Who gave you these, Mr. Stewart? I think a guy named Jason Williams used to work at the office for Jimmy. Were you the only one who got them? No. Who else had them? The jackets, just a select number of people that were close with Jimmy had the jackets, but shirts were given out to everybody for marketing. For what? I'm sorry. For marketing. Who had the jackets that you saw? Jimmy's closest associates. Who did you see wearing one of those jackets? Myself, Jimmy, Jason, Teddy, and Tony had one. That's all I really recall. Who's Teddy? Teddy is one of Jimmy's friends that worked at the office, Teddy Coleman. Miss Brady, is it working? Can we put up exhibit 31? Who is that? That's Teddy, Teddy Coleman. He had one of the jackets? Yeah. And government exhibit 6, please, Miss Brady. Who's that? That's Jason, Jason Williams. Those are people who had jackets? Yeah. And you said you think Tony had one? Yeah. That's the person we saw before or a different Tony? Yes. All right, I'm going to show you now what's been marked for identification as government exhibit 1020. Tell me if you recognize this. Yes. What's that? That was my business card at Czar. You had a business card at Czar? Yes. During what years did you use that? Maybe 04 to 06, 07. And did you hand it out to people? Yes. The government offers exhibit 1020. No objection. No objection. Admitted. May we publish that? What is the name of the person on that business card? That was my nickname. What does it say? Tev Henchman. That was the nickname that you went by? Yeah. And is Tev, what is Tev? What was the nickname that you went by? Tev. Is that what people called you? Yeah, because I was associated with Jimmy Henchmen. Throw the Henchmen in there for music. Was that your email address on there? Yes. If someone emailed that address, where would the email go? To my phone. Okay. And by the way, how did you get the nickname Tev? Got it when I was younger on Rikers Island, adolescent. I was always in and out of jail and getting around serious cases, so my friends and myself used to call me that. What does TEF stand for? It was like looking up to John Gotti as a kid. He was called the Teflon Don. Do you still use that nickname, Tef? No. Now, as you spent time with Jimmy, did you learn of any rivalries he was involved with other entertainment companies? Yes. How did you learn about the rivalries? Through him. What were the rivalries, just generally? What do you mean? With what other entertainment companies did he have rivalries? Death Row Records, G Unit Records, Violator. Let's talk about G Unit. What is G Unit Records? G Unit Records is a company that was formed by 50 Cent that's made up of a couple of artists. Name some people who you know are affiliated with G Unit. The main artists are 50 Cent, Tony Yayo, and Lloyd Banks. And what's Violator Records? Violator Records was a management company owned by Chris Lighty, and he managed G Unit, pretty much all of the artists, and he manages others. Can we put up Government Exhibit 20? Who is that? 50 Cent. Government Exhibit 19? Tony Yayo. Do you know his real name? Marvin Bernard. And he's affiliated with what group? He's a G Unit member. Can we put up Government Exhibit 18? Chris Lighty. And what company is he affiliated with? Violator Management Records. I'm going to show you what's been marked. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. What's the real name of 50 Cent? Curtis Jackson. I'm going to show you what's been marked for identification as Government Exhibit 32. You recognize that? Yes. Who is that a photograph of? Baja. Who is Baja? Baja is a guy that shot up my Escalade. We'll get to that. But of what we've talked about, who is he affiliated with? G Unit. He's a G Unit member. And manages Tony Yayo, 50 Cent, Muscle. And did you have personal experiences with Baja? Yes. The government offers Exhibit 32. No objection. No objection. Admitted. Can we publish? Do you know Baja's real name? I think he goes by a couple real names. A couple names. I don't know which one is his. Baja Walls, Jalal Bethal, Monster. Thank you, Miss Brady. Now, I'm going to show you what's been marked for identification as Government Exhibit 30. Ask you if you recognize this person. That's game. How do you recognize that person? That's who Jimmy used to manage, and we were associated. You knew him? Yes. Government offers Exhibit 30. No objection. No objection. Admitted. And over what period did Jimmy manage the game, if you know? 05, 06. I don't know when he ended, but started around 05, 06? Yeah, I don't know when it ended. Maybe 2009, 10, not sure. Now, what was your understanding from Jimmy about what the rivalry between G Unit and Czar, or was it Henchmen or Czar at that point? What was the rivalry about? Yeah, what was it about? It was pretty much about that Game had an album that he wanted out and Jimmy wanted to put out before other G Unit members. And 50 Cent didn't want that album to come out before his artist, and Jimmy still made records. And that's what started a lot of conflict. I'm going to show you. Did you know the Game's real name? Can't recall. Yeah, I do. What is it? Jason Taylor, I think. I'm going to show you what's been marked for identification as Government Exhibit 1000. Ask you if you recognize it? Yes. What is that a photograph of? That's a picture of me and Game down on South Beach. You remember what year that was taken? That might be 05, 06. Government offers Exhibit 1000. No objection. No objection. Admitted. May we publish? Yes. Can we zoom in on that, Miss Brady? So in this picture, who's who? I'm wearing the white t-shirt that says G Unit, and Game is the one in the red t-shirt with the chain on. The t-shirt says G Unit? Yes. Is your hand covering part of it? My hand was covering the G. Who gave you that t-shirt? That was t-shirts. I don't know who gave it to me specifically, but it was t-shirts that Jimmy had made up and had them distributed down in Miami during the VMA weekend. What does G Unit mean? Well, the name of the company was G Unit, and that was sort of a name that was made up to mock them, like, you don't want to be down with them, G, you're not a gangster, you're not, or something like that. And what's underneath the writing? The underneath is a rat with a circle around it with the line going through it. What was your understanding of what that means? No rats, no snitching, and that was directed at 50 Cent because he was known at that time as a rat. That was how you knew him? Well, that's what the campaign was. I don't know if he did or not, but that was the campaign for that information Jimmy had that we were pushing with to kill his hip-hop credibility. Did you wear that shirt?
You see, he used something for the media attempting to kill 50 Cent's hip-hop credibility. It was never produced that 50 Cent even told of nobody. Only thing we keep seeing is an order of protection with his name in it. Again, credibility, credible source. Jimmy just couldn't call him a rat. Jimmy was the credible thug. Why would Jimmy call him a poet? Why would Jimmy call him a rat for? He did with facts. So they went off of that. That's Jimmy, right? But Jimmy knew that for the world to hear this, I'm going to credible media sources. I'm going to go to the VMAs with all the medias out here, and we're going to run around with G Unit with rats. And we're going to create this conversation so MTV News can talk about it, BET can talk about it, The Source, SXL, or any media outlet that's on a national level.
As part of that campaign? Yes. Now, did the rivalry between G Unit and... Thank you, Miss Brady. Zara Entertainment ever turn violent? Yes. Were you involved in acts of violence related to that rivalry? Yes. What was the first act of violence that you were personally involved in connection with the rivalry? Game had an issue with 50 Cent. Game was in town and 50 Cent kicked Game out of G Unit on the radio and was talking bad about him. And Jimmy called me and asked me to accompany Game up to Hot 97, and I went up there. As soon as I got there, I saw, let me stop you. Do you remember what year this was? Maybe 05, 06, guessing. And for the jurors who may not know Hot 97, it's a radio station in New York. And did Jimmy say why he wanted you to accompany Game to Hot 97? Yeah, he told me he just wanted me to hold down, make sure he was safe. He just wanted to go up there to talk to 50. Game was just going to talk? Yeah, wanted to ask him to stop talking bad about him on the radio. You were hearing it on the radio? Yeah, it was on the radio. So what did you do? Did you in fact go down there? Yeah, I went down there, went to go meet Game. As I walked, as I started...
Now, according to his records, his recollection, you see, his beef, G-Unit beef with Jimmy Henchmen was hip-hop. He ain't talk about a DVD where it went wrong. He ain't talk about Joe Budden doing an interview with... He said, nah, Game wanted, he wanted to put Game album out and 50 Cent was holding it back, so Game kept putting music out and 50 got mad. Okay, y'all have to listen to what's going on here. He didn't say the original 50 Cent DVD, the narrative that we was told by why the beef started. So according to this guy who's around working, being around Jimmy Henchmen pushing the button, he just said the beef I know about is because 50 wouldn't drop Game's album. So he got tight that Game kept putting music out.
Walking up to the building, I seen shots fired, and what do you exactly see? I see security guard come on outside, look around. I see him go back in through the doors, and next thing I saw when I'm walking towards the building, I see a hand stick out and just start firing shots. And who was in front of the building? Were there people in front? Was it empty? Game and a bunch of guys. About how many people were standing outside the building? I'm not sure. It was a lot of them. Well, can you give a rough estimate? Maybe 10, 15 guys. What happened when the shots were fired? Everyone started running. I'm going to show you what's been marked for identification as Government Exhibit 645A and ask you if you recognize it. What's that? That's the building where Hot 97 is at. Was that a truly and fairly accurate representation of how that building looked back then? Yes. Government offers 645A? No objection. No objection. Admitted. Miss Brady, could you put...
Guns went off before, and I remember that, before Jimmy Henchman's son got slapped. The Jimmy Henchman's son getting slapped just escalated to ground zero, but guns had already went off between the two camps. This is this guy's testimony on a trial. This is a jury trial.
Up 645A. So looking at this photograph, Mr. Stewart, I should have brought it up before. This is a laser pointer, and if you press this button and point at the big screen, can you indicate where you saw that hand coming out? Is it working? It's not working? There you go. It's working now. There you go. I don't know which door it came out of. I was away down on the side. I wasn't on the block yet as I'm walking, but I saw it from this area. You saw the hand come out of one of those doors? Yes. And you could hear the shots fired? Yes. What happened? Did people start running? People stay there? What happened when the shots were fired? People start running. Did you see whether anybody got shot? No, I heard somebody got shot. What did you do when you saw the shots? Did you run also, or did you stay there? No, because I wasn't exactly on the block yet, that particular block where the shots were fired from, but I turned on the side where the bulletproof truck was, and then I wound up leaving. What bulletproof truck? 50 cents, one of his bulletproof trucks. How did you know that was 50 cents bulletproof truck? Had Connecticut plates on it. Had you seen it before? Yeah. And you knew it was associated with him? Yes. So what did you do when you turned on that block? I walked and I left. Were you with Game at the time? No. What did you, at some point then, meet up with Game? Yes. How long after? Within the hour. And what happened? Without saying anything that Game said, what happened? We were talking and he was upset, shaken up, crying. And after that, where did that happen? Where did you meet up? I don't remember the street, but I wound up in a cab with him and we're talking, and I was just upset to see him hurt like that. And I asked him what he wanted to do. And after that conversation, was there something that you did? Yes. What did you do? I called up one of my friends and he came and met me in the city and brought a gun with him. And we went to violate records trying to get in the building. We couldn't, and he fired at the front door. What was the name of the friend you called? Andre Collier. I'm going to show you what's been marked for identification as Government Exhibit 21. Do you recognize this? Yes. Who is this a photo of? That's Andre Collier. Government Office Exhibit 21. No objection. No.
So to this man's account, Tef Stewart, the beef between G Unit and G Unit and Czar Entertainment stemmed over a record getting pushed. Something I noticed that the man also said was, I remember when they shot Valley the Records up. Remember that? When they shot it up. Around that time, not too long after that, may that man rest in peace. He killed himself. Around that, a little bit around that time, after that time, rest in peace, Chris Light. That's the Valley of the Records. Now think about this. According to Tef Stewart, Jimmy had beef with Death Row Records, G Unit, Valley of the Records, Valley of the Management Records. This is like another hip hop beef going wrong because of the media. If 50 Cent don't go to Hot 97 talking crazy about Game, then Game would have to pull up the Hot 97. So when y'all see what goes on YouTube and people going crazy, this been going on. The media. Negative black drama sells. Not just black drama sells. Not even just black. Any drama sells. It could be anybody. It sells. But the biggest loser in this hip hop beef was a couple of people died. Jimmy Henchmen got life in jail. And now a friendship that was created through a bond of 50 Cent in Game, they can't become cool. Well, on 50 Cent's side, because somebody died, somebody went to jail. So much behind the scenes stuff happened over that. According to Tef, the beef was over 50 Cent not only drop an album before the other G Unit members. He said nothing about the original 50 Cent DVD, Tombstones, for what he knows, his acknowledgement of the beef. The worst part about this was Chris Lighty passed away, and we know he might have had a lot of beef, but that's just one or another beef he had. So it was a hip hop beef that's supposed to get you out the hood and feed your family. Became a street beef, and these dudes wasn't young. So we can't say the Jullies at the K-Flocks and Fabio and the rest of them. These dudes of age, they should know better. But the media is dangerous. The media is very dangerous. This is jury trial testimony from Tef Stewart. The reason why I brought this content to the show today, because it goes into what's been going on for the last week or 2 weeks with this credibility thing. Jimmy Henchman's credible, so he tells his floor of associates, his team, yo, my beef with 50 a rap, so we're gonna do this, that, and third. He painted this picture of 50. They only listen to it without doing their due diligence because it's Jimmy Henchman. He's a real one. He's from the streets, Haitian. Like his Allen, he got the stories. He's a real one. He know all the killers. That's my man. He go in the club, they sending him bottles of champagne. Why would he lie to us for? He ain't got to show me paperwork. That's Jimmy. If 50's a rat, he's a rat because Jimmy said he's a rat. All in all, that was just an agenda that Jimmy was pushing. All to push Game's out. All because now it's because remember 50, they still dropped the album. The album still got dropped. Game is probably one of the most successful solo artists on G Unit other than 50. Who else is most successful other than those two that sold units? We got Lloyd Banks, yeah, we give you one platinum. Mobb Deep might have won gold. MOP might have won gold. But the second most successful artist on G Unit is the game. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know the reasons why. There's probably more of a reason why 50 Cent was holding back Game's project compared to the other G-Unit members. But we've seen numbers don't lie. Game was most successful out of anything else that he had. We gotta deal with the facts. See, a lot of times because we listen to credible people, we begin to shoot people down. Yo, he called 50 Cent a rat. Plain case, 50 Cent's not in it. From what I read, from what I'm hearing so far, 50's name is not in it. The only part that involves 50 Cent was Supreme is media, using the media, put together this drama, and I got beef with the old man because the old man knew what was gonna happen to me. He didn't put me on. So who is he talking about? They don't even know who he's talking about. Yo, who shot you? Somebody threw the rumor out there. See, somebody threw a rumor. I never heard 50 Cent say homo, but somebody else said homo. Threw it out there. So now the media, allegedly the guy who got assassinated was the same guy who shot 50 Cent. That's a conversation. They got articles on this, but it was never confirmed. It was never confirmed. But since 50 Cent is blown up in hip hop and he's using credible media sources, it worked. You all gotta admit it worked. So when it deals with credibility, you still do your due diligence no matter what somebody tells you. Now the reason why I'm saying this for, when it comes to credibility, that's why I did this right here, is because a lot of us our age think they beef was over the real 50 Cent DVD. Because that's what was brought to us. He was around them and he thinking that the beef between them is over 50 Cent not wanting to throw Game album out there. I thought it was over 50 Cent was talking crazy about old boy over some Joe Buttons. He did something with Joe Buttons. Something he did, he came to New York, he was doing too much. But behind the scenes, I guess, Game kept putting music out. Trying to force 50 hand. That's how he looked at it from his eyes. Credibility, right, is why what led to Tef Stewart sitting on the stand cooperating. Listen to a credible source. Your credible source got you on the stand telling on him now. You know what I'm saying? Yo, when you listen to the credibility, do your due diligence no matter who tells you something. He called 50 Cent a rat because, Jimmy said it. Why would Jimmy lie? He official. I don't need to see no paperwork. 2 months, 3 years later, you're on the stand talking about, he lied to me. You know what I'm saying? And you're testifying and you're telling. So, with that being said, this is my class of credibility. And where listening to the wrong credible sources, I have you sitting in jail for the rest of your life. Have you sitting on the stand telling the story for something that you got caught up in. You said they shot Valley the Records. I'm not going to say Jimmy Henson played a part to Chris Lighty passing away, because see, that's be slander and slang. But what I'm going to say is, Chris Lighty, a management in hip-hop, a guy who had not just was promoted in the tunnel, helped a lot of artists blow in hip-hop, African-American brothers, passed away. Name is in a beef with a guy from the streets. Even though he's from the streets, but a guy from the streets. So how far does hip hop take you? Does it keep you here? Does it keep you where you need to be stalemated at? You came from the streets carrying Red Alert Records. He come from the streets cutting dudes and running around Wyclef and getting into the music industry and managing Brandy. They always end up in the street. Y'all think about your credible sources. You know what I'm saying? Your credible sources, man. Do your due diligence. And that's my take in my class on credibility. With my eyes. Tef listened to a credible source. He had no beef with 50. He went with a game crying on his shoulders. Let's go. Now he's on the stand testifying about actions that he really didn't. He really didn't want to commit. And his story gonna be, because they lied to me. 50 Cent never. That's his story, basically saying, "Yo, what? He lied to me. 50 Cent never told." In so many words, if you read between the lines. And with that being said, enjoy your day. Just doing my due diligence, of course. Shout out to Crown Court TV. Shout out to May Ling on her narrating. Shout out to Wifey Southern Belle. Now, before I go, I'm going to touch on some new hip-hop stuff. The Rico situation with the letter guys, I get it. But you have to understand that we don't, when I first heard about Lil Durk, it was like a little 2012. A lot was going on in Chirac. I hope that he's smart and when he wasn't in none of those mixes before he started going gold and platinum and single. Like it's all on what life they live as they was growing. He's in the mix, phone calls, playing the hits, getting caught in the hood shit before they really took off. Then there's nothing that we can do. Well, no, let me tell you something. The feds is not taking their time because of the media. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to waste their time and go, boom. The feds is not going to go, we're going to wait till like 8 months for the media to get their shit together before we snatch them. So we don't know what stuff these dudes is into. We don't know. Maybe he's just not, you know what I'm saying? We don't know. We can only wait and see. And with that being said, man, find some legal shit to do. Find something legal to do. Understand what's credible. Sometimes do your due diligence. That being said, shout out to fam, Wifey Southern Belle, West Side St. Louis. My brother Keith. This is the guy who was involved with a situation, and in his head, G-Unit beef with them was over. Game album not being pushed out. That being said, shout out to Crown Court TV. Shout out to Spanish Harlem. Shout out to Redhead Joe. He pulled up in the chat. He had an East Harlem conversation. I like the fact he showed love to Shop. Shop TWB. Rest in peace. He showed love to Rare. When you say ET Mob, the crew's actually named is Hyperactive Mob. ET Mob was Crackino James. So just give you a little bit of history. We show some graph like. He's mentioning the crews. Shout out to RD357, man, DE3357. Shout out to Joe for TDO, Ava and Ace and Doc. You know what I'm saying? The TDO crew. My man Dover. You know what I'm saying? I come from the graffiti era. My man Taser is a rock. Free Deep Freeze, EA. Freeze Corporation. My man Mose. Oh, this is dope. Hold on, I got some receipts. I forgot. This is somebody who shouted me out. He's on the radio. He just got a platinum plaque for a record.
Yo Zeke, mad respect, man. This thing just made my day, man. Wow. I remember that day like it was yesterday, and I respect Freeze. I respect you, and wow, we got a lot of history, and it feels good to hear this, and it feels good to connect with you, brother. Have a beautiful, blessed day.
That's DJ Wicked Wizard, Mose. He's on the radio. He does freestyle house music in hip hop. That was Izarok's DJ, Wicked Wizard. That's him. Shout me out about the content I did when I called Sub-Zero. Me and Deep Freeze was talking on this platform with Sub-Zero. And, you know what I'm saying? We used to have an East Harlem conversation. Definitely shout out to Mose. Now, there's one more person. Before I go. I'm just showing that when you show love, man, the love comes back 1,000 times. Sen One, SEN1. He has a documentary coming out. He's doing this hip hop stuff from the Upper West Side. Graffiti legend, one of them first generation graffiti artists of Upper West Side, New York City, on the UW. Again, I show love to the culture, and the culture sees what Z Black is doing.
Man, peace, my brother. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. It was a good surprise. I just got on here and I saw this, and I'm just like, wow, that's amazing. we all inspire each other, so I'm really honored and proud. Thank you. Let's keep up that good work, man. You know, I'm just trying to make sure this younger generations, we could try and like reach them a little bit and give them a better image of what we should be as kings and queens, gods and goddesses, instead of, you know, them running around the way they are. So definitely I appreciate your energy as well, and keep up the great work. And I just wanted to drop you this quick voice message because I'm running around. I hope you don't mind, but thank you again. As that energy is what keeps me going as an old guy. But anyway, have a great day. Thank you again. Peace.
So I'm touching the culture. I'm physically touching the culture. Anybody that I speak about, I hit them up. They know what's going on. Come from Z Black, and they appreciate it. That's Sen One, a famous graffiti artist. But if you're into graffiti, you gotta know what this man is. Sen One. He does art, graffiti, old school graffiti artists from back in the days, throwback. You know what I'm saying? He has a documentary. He's part of a documentary. You can see some of his art. This is his stuff, like at the galleries. These are the guys that we grew up on. The Sambo and them generation. Sambo that father you, that's that Upper West Side, IBM crew and all of Rock City, graffiti, hip hop, b-boys, Rock Steady Park, Rock Steady crew, Upper West Side. For those that's not from New York, that's on the West Side. Like 96th Street, 97th Street, 105th Street, 104th. All that's Upper West Side. Harlem don't hit the West Side to 110th Street. East Side, East Harlem starts on 96th Street. So I'm doing this for the culture, party people. We do this for the culture, man. We do this for the culture. You know what I'm saying? So get in tune. Check out Sen One, SEN1. Show them some love. With that being said, shout out to Spanish Harlem, El Barrio, New York City, Lexington, Washington houses. Rest in peace, Roswell number 3. Shout out to Wiggs, 131, Uno, 131. My man Money, 131. No, you know what I'm saying? Yo, I got fun. Joey brought me back. TWB, no Washington boys. I was down with that. Me and Taser. You know what I'm saying? We got down the same day. TWB. Shout out to my man Jeep and Fury. You know what I'm saying? That being said, peace.